All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Creative Exchange Fund Artist in Residence info session. Here's our quick agenda for today's session. I'm going to introduce you to our team. We're going to introduce you to the Creative Exchange Fund. You're going to see some photos and images of the medium and a floor plan and available spaces. And then I'm going to introduce you all to the Medium Artist in Residency program and what that entails. We'll go over some high-level application overview, selection criteria, and then in the end, I'll walk you through some additional support and resources. Here's our beautiful team here at the Medium. These are the individuals you will be crossing paths with in the space. I am Amber Paradin, Artist and Community Manager. I am also a practicing artist. I have turned my office at the Medium into also my art studio, so you can see behind me. I am a painter, printmaker by trade. I love storytelling and gardening. John Wayne Farr is on this call. He's our general manager. He is a musician and tech head. And Thalia Madewell is our operations manager. Thalia comes from the dance and movement ecosystem. Cynthia Tran is here. She is our events and front of house coordinator. If you receive this funding opportunity, you will work closely with Cynthia, and she is a phenomenal photographer. She had a gig just last night. Evan Alvarado is our creative content manager, just all around incredible human, also a musician. So we are a team of working, practicing artists. And we bring that beautiful perspective to this opportunity as well. Really quickly, our mission here at the Medium is that we are a radically inclusive venue for creative expression that offers affordable and equitable access to space for artists of all backgrounds. The Creative Exchange Fund. At Cash, we understand that the creative process takes time, money, and affordable space to work. The Creative Exchange Fund, which you will hear us refer to as CXF a lot, this program invests in creatives by providing funding, professional development, and free space to take creative risks. This is a programming initiative designed in partnership with the Tyson Family Foundation to bring life, art, and community experiences to the Medium. The Creative Exchange Fund in all supports 5 unique opportunities: live performances, community events, artists in residence, and innovative exhibitions. All right, here's our building. We are located in downtown Springdale. This is a 25,000 square foot facility. We have a 371 seat theater. We have a gallery and exhibition space. We have a really great black box. We have classrooms, which are being used as artist studios. It's a really fun playground. So all of the Creative Exchange Fund programs and projects will happen here at the Medium. And the Medium is an artist-led project of Cash dedicated to removing barriers between creatives, their work, and their audiences by providing accessible studio, rehearsal, performance, and exhibition space. This is true 365 days a year. So even beyond the Creative Exchange Fund, we are still an accessible venue. We work daily with individual artists, creative entities, and organizations, both nonprofit and for-profit, to work with them to use this space. Today, we're going to unpack the Medium Artist in Residence. So there's 5 individual funding opportunities as a part of the Creative Exchange Fund. You can learn more about each of these opportunities at our website, themedium.art/CXF. But today we're going to walk all the way around the Medium Artist in Residency program. We have 6 of these awards this round at $3,000 each. I've mentioned our website. This is a screenshot of what our new website looks like. If you need Spanish translations, please note the pink hand in the bottom left-hand corner If you click that button, it will have an option for Spanish translation, and it will just translate the entire site for you. When you're on that website, you click the menu in the top right-hand corner and click on CXF. It will take you to the Creative Exchange Fund page. And on that page, you will have the option to click any of these 5 funding opportunities to learn more about each of them. And if you click on the Medium Artist Residencies, it will take you to this information. So we have 6 of these awards this round at $3,000 each. The Artist Residency provides practicing 2D and 3D visual artists a creative studio space for 6 weeks, allowing them to take creative risks, expand artistically, and build relationships within the community. So if you are awarded this opportunity, you will get a free studio and $3,000 and 6 weeks to come play and hang out with us. Or not hang out with us. If you're introverted, we'll leave you alone. Here are the details: $3,000, 6 awards. We are interested in, this is specifically for visual artists, 2D and 3D, and there's some limitations to what that is, and we'll look at that in just a moment. The available spaces are classrooms 1 and 2 here at the Medium, and they're approximately 20 by 32 feet each. So each artist will get 1 room to themselves, which is about 320 square feet-ish. This first round, we put 2 artists in each room. That worked well in most cases, but we've decided to just give the artists the full room, and then you have full reign to do what you would like in that room as far as hosting workshops or open studios. And we can talk more about that in a moment. You will have 6 weeks in the space. Your residency is at least six weeks, but you also have 3 weeks for move in and move out. And I think, John, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that actually might be 4 weeks. You have 2 weeks on the front end, 2 weeks on the back end to get your stuff in and to get your stuff out. So if you move in quickly, you could have a little longer than 6 weeks. If you have questions about anything I'm saying, please, Thalia is hot in the chat and ready to answer your questions or collect them and ask them in the end. But I'm dumping a lot of information on you, so please take advantage of us being here and ask questions. No question is stupid. Here is the eligibility for the Medium Artist and Residency program. You must be at least 18 years old. You must be a practicing 2D and or 3D visual artist. Artists must reside in Benton or Washington counties of Northwest Arkansas. Resident projects must take into account studio dimensions, including a ceiling height of 8 feet. Woodworking, welding, foundry work, and glass blowing are ineligible to apply due to facility limitations. If you are any of these particular things, just note that we don't have proper ventilation, dust ventilation for work like this. But if this is your particular medium and you're looking to expand and do something a little different, that's okay. Ask us questions about what that looks like. Artists in residence will be required to host one open studio event during a pre-assigned visual art night. We'll talk about that in a moment. You must commit to a minimum of 10 hours a week, 60 hours total for your entire residency on site during your residency. So 10 hours a week, you can do that however the heck you want to. If you have a full-time job and you need to come in the evenings, if you just want to come in all day on a Sunday, that's fine. You will receive a key to the facility and a private key to your studio, and you will have 24/7 access and can come in and out of the space as you please. Previous artist and resident recipients may not reapply for this particular fund, but you are welcome to apply to any of the other funds. On our website, if you click on the menu and click Our Space, it will take you to this particular page. And you can click on any one of these and it will show you a little bit more about the spaces that we have here at the Medium. The classrooms that you will be in, you can learn more about those by clicking on Classroom. When you get to any of the particular pages that you're looking to find more information about, it'll have an opportunity for you to either reserve space or look at the facility specs for that particular space or the space layout. Here's a floor plan of the medium, and the highlighter yellow, classroom 1 and classroom 2, those are the studios that are available for the Medium Artist in Residence. So you would get one room to yourself. The main entrance, you can take note, it's over right next to the classrooms, and the restrooms are right across that little foyer. So it's pretty convenient to come straight in, go into your studio, lock the door, whatever you need to do, and then have easy access to the restrooms. And you're far removed from all the other projects and spaces at the Medium, so you have privacy. Here are the next few slides, are some images that were taken of our first round of Artists in Residence. And we just want to show you what's possible in your space. We're pretty open to what you do in your space. Just as a reminder, no woodworking, welding, foundry work, or other practices that require heavy ventilation will be allowed. We do not have floor drains, shop sinks, or any 220-volt outlets. So depending on your practice, if any of those things pertain to you and you still have questions and want to be involved, let us know and let's talk about what that looks like. We're interested in artists taking creative risks. So that means if you are traditionally a woodworker, but you are curious, now you want to pivot to carving on wood and making wood blocks, that would be possible, and that would be a creative risk. So that's what we mean by creative risk taking. So don't let any of the things I'm saying discourage you. If you feel like you don't fit into this, please reach out to us and ask questions, because we want to get you in here and we want to help you work through what a creative risk actually looks like for your application. Again, ask questions in the chat. We're ready. Artist studios are equipped with woodtop tables. You can see here in the image in the background, it has a little outlet on it. Those table lamps, that comes with your studio as well. Chairs, there are cabinets, stainless steel sink, white walls, and then there's modular walls for various room configurations. So modular walls are just walls on wheels that are, I forget how tall, 6 or 7 feet tall. And those are available if you need to reconfigure your room in a different format. All Artists in Residence and Spectra Series recipients will be required to participate in one visual art night, which we're calling VAN, V-A-N. This is a collective artist reception and event on one predetermined evening for greater social impact. So we will work with the Spectra Series facilitators, both indoor and outdoor, for their artist receptions. And then the Artist in Residence, we're asking that you host some kind of open studio on that night. So when people come in, hopefully you will bring a few people to your project, and someone else that you don't know is bringing people to their project. And there's some cross collaboration and cross-pollination even of different audiences. So that's what we're hoping for, is bigger impact, a bigger crowd for the evening to support everyone and help everyone feel like they had a successful night. If you have questions about the visual art night, let us know. This is new this year. We did not do this last year. So this is a new thing for us. So ask us questions. As far as during your time in your residency, you're welcome to use the studio to lead workshops or sell your artwork and keep 100% of the sales. So like I said, you will get a key to your space. You'll basically have an empty classroom that's white walls. If you wanted to lead workshops and charge ticket sales to those workshops, you're welcome to do that. That's entirely up to you. You would be in charge of facilitating all of that. If you need extra tables and chairs and things like that, just let us know. We can work with you to help you with that. Let's see here. You will receive a key with at least 6 weeks access to your studio. You will have 2 additional weeks to move in and 2 additional weeks to move out for a total of 10 weeks access. So like I said, the minimum is 6 weeks that we want you here. If you need extra time and space, you're welcome to get your key and move your stuff in quickly. You can take up to 2 weeks depending on what your artistic practice is, what you're moving in. That varies with each artist. So if you have questions about that, let us know. This is an image of June Lee leading a workshop in her studio this last year. If you want to learn and see who our previous recipients were from the first round of the Creative Exchange Fund, we have an artist archive on our website. It's the medium.art/artist-archive. You can see this even on that page. If you click Medium Artist Residencies, scroll to the very bottom, it'll show previous recipients. And this is a really great place to start for you as you're considering how to write your project description, what we're looking for, what has been done here before. I would invite you to click on each of these individual artists and it will show their project description. And in most cases, that project description is what they used on their grant application. So if you need inspiration, if you want to see what other people did and what was brought in this first round, this is a fantastic resource for you as you're trying to figure out how to write all the words you need for your application. Again, this is a photograph of Lisa Cruz. She was one of our recipients the first round. This is her in her studio. So this is a snapshot of what the studio space looks like. There's linoleum floors that were that aren't sacred. Okay, let's dig into the application just a little bit. Here's a little bit of what the application is going to ask. Lead artist information. We're going to ask for your geography, discipline, and your level of experience, your artist statement, organization statement of purpose, some work samples of what you do, any creative achievements you may or may not have collected, your project information. If you have a title of your project, let us know, description. If there are any collaborators, you would be surprised. Some people have brought in collaborators into their residency. Please let us know that in your application if that's what you're envisioning. And then a timeline and a budget for how you foresee using the funds. You will have the opportunity to select dates for your project and how this project will give you opportunity to take risks and expand your professional artistic growth. I'm going to go back to this slide really quickly. I like to use Lisa Cruz as a great example for creative risk taking. Lisa is traditionally a ceramic artist. She makes figurines. You can see one of her figurines, actually a little doll hanging on the wall behind her. Traditionally, she works in clay, but she's been really interested in exploring collage and assemblage work, but her clay studio did not allow for her to do that. It was too dirty and she didn't have space to pull out all these incredible paper and things that she had been collecting. And so this opportunity for the residency gave her a chance to get out of her clay studio and spread all these papers out in a safe, clean environment for her to explore collage work. So that's a great example of what we mean by creative risk-taking. Okay, back to the applications. We'll ask for your social media or website. That's optional if you have those things. Your artist statement, who you are, what you do, why you do it, how you do it. Excuse me. Any relevant experience you might have include creative achievements or accomplishments and milestones, shows, performances, productions within the last 7 years or so. And then work samples. This can just be photographs. I know you all are visual artists. If you happen to have a video of some kind of documentation, it cannot exceed 5 minutes. If in that video you want us to pay attention to a particular timestamp, maybe at the minute 37-second mark is where the magic happens. and you want us to really pay attention to that, please make note of that in your application as well. And then we'll be expecting a 1 or 2 sentence description of the work sample that you've included. And you can include 3 work samples. And I would say too, as a visual artist, you can upload, let's say, 1 image. If you want to make that image a collage of 3 or 4 of your pieces, that's a way to sort of get a few more work samples in front of us outside of adding more. Does that make sense? So if you uploaded JPEG or whatever it is, and that 1 JPEG has a collage of 3 of your pieces, that's appropriate too. Okay, here's the selection criteria. The panel is going to consider the following: artistry and strength of your concept. Does the applicant demonstrate a clear, compelling vision or purpose for their work in general and strong work samples? The proposed project concept aligns with this vision or purpose, and it's relevant, interesting, inspiring, and thought-provoking. We're also going to be looking at your capacity and your feasibility of your project. Does the applicant demonstrate the capacity and skill to carry out their proposed project? They clearly take into account the feasibility of the project within the program restrictions, whether that be physical space, time, equipment needs, etc. And the applicant's proposal, budget, and timeline align. And then they're also going to look at creative risk-taking, professional artistic growth, and risk-taking. Does the proposed project represent an opportunity to take risks and artistic challenge or a creative stretch for the applicant? The applicant demonstrates how this project opportunity relates to and furthers their career and artistic goals. This is a great screen or slide for you to screenshot when you're looking at beginning your application process. This is the selection criteria that the panelists are going to look at in comparison to your application. So please spend some time with this selection criteria. This is going to help you. If you have questions about this, let us know. All right, your proposed residency description. Please describe your proposed residency project. What areas of work and ideas will you explore? How will you utilize the space? What is your anticipated schedule for your time and work in the studio? And please know that this is flexible. We're just looking to gauge your capacity and feasibility. Like I said, we're very, very flexible. If you cannot be here Monday through Friday, that's okay. You're not going to not get this because of that. We are all humans and artists and parents, and we have families too. So we understand that we're not going to hold you to a cut and dry schedule. So we're just looking for your anticipated schedule, and just be honest with us. That's fine. Preferred dates for your project. It looks like for this one, I did not include a screenshot from the application. So on the application, there will be a few dates for you to select. Please select all of those that you're available to work on. So it's hard to talk about without a visual, but it'll just be a few check boxes. And it will be beginning in September of this year, and it will run through May or June of 2024. So your residency may not be until next year. So just select all that you're able to do, and then we will plug you in to that date as best as we can. And with there only being 6 recipients this time, I think it'll get a little easier. You'll very likely get the date that you select, but there's a slim chance you may not get the date that you select. So please be flexible if you're able. Again, artist statement. Briefly describe who you are as an artist, include what you do, why you do it, and how you do it. And describe how your proposed residency will give you the opportunity to take creative risks and expand artistically. You notice that keeps coming up. That is sort of the bones of the Creative Exchange Fund, is we want you to come in here, take advantage of the free space that we're giving you, and stretch yourself artistically. Here is a screenshot from the application. We have included, we built out the budget for you to help you kind of get a kickstart on what we're looking for with the budget. And please understand that just because you wrote that you're going to spend $100 on training, if that shifts by the time you get into your residency, that's okay. We're really using this budget to help us gauge your capacity and feasibility. If someone comes in here and has a $25,000 budget and they're looking to bring in a light show and the flaming lips, that's going to help us understand this may not be the right project for them. Or maybe it will, but I mean, it just all depends. So this is why this is here. So please think through your artist fees, and that's top of the list. And we want you to pay yourself. If all of this entire budget goes to you, $3,000 artist fee, I need this money. Great. Put that on there. $2,500. That feels like that's probably what I would put, $2,000 or $2,500 artist fee. I'm going to pay myself. And I might buy a new piece of equipment, or I might hire a photographer to come in and document all of my paintings that I have not had a formal documentation of yet. So I'm going to budget in a couple hundred for that. So this is what this is here for, just so you can walk around and really think through the feasibility of your project, where the money is realistically going to be used, and what that's going to look like for you. And I'm sure Thalia is putting this in the chat, and if she has not yet, we all talk about, please pay yourself. This is what this is for. We want to keep artists in Northwest Arkansas, and this is how you do it. You pay yourself. So if you have questions about any of this or any of the line items that you see, please reach out to us and let us know. Panelists. Applications are reviewed by 5 separate panels, one for each CXF opportunity. Each panel consists of members from our advisory committee, our leadership council, CASH staff, CASH board of directors, and representatives from the Tyson Family Foundation. We are ensuring that each group of panelists are experts in at least one artistic discipline, and they possess an understanding of the creative community of Northwest Arkansas and are representative of a variety of communities, experiences, and backgrounds. And we want to be fully and radically transparent with you that in the instance that a panelist has applied for one of the CXF opportunities, they will not be allowed to panel the particular fund that they applied to. For example, last year, a couple members of our leadership council who are young, emergent artists and creatives in Northwest Arkansas, they applied. They were not allowed to panel what they applied to. Again, if you have questions or concerns about that, let us know. This is the money shot. This is where you want to screenshot. It's saying the same thing as I was saying earlier, but this is what's considered when determining awards. Does the project present opportunities for professional artistic growth and risk-taking? Is the project feasible, and does the applicant demonstrate the capacity and skill to achieve what they proposed? And does the applicant outline a compelling artistic vision or purpose for their practice in general? And does that project concept align with their artistic vision or purpose? All right. You made it to the info session. This is the last of our info session. So thank you all so much for being here. Here are, I'm going to go over some FAQs here at the end, and then we're going to open up the floor for community questions that you all might have. But before then, I want to let you all know that it says beginning June 29th, which is tomorrow, but it's actually already open. We have one-on-one support sessions available with our staff. You can go onto our website and book a 20-minute one-on-one session with myself, Thalia, or John Wayne Farr, or Cynthia Tran. And you can ask us anything pertaining to the Creative Exchange Fund. If you have technical questions, if you have facility questions, if you have questions about what qualifies, or if you don't understand the budget or creative risk taking, this is a great resource for you to take advantage of. So I would advise each of you to jump into one of these one-on-one support sessions, because we are here for you and we are ready. We have been rehearsing all of this information and we are ready to share our knowledge with you. So please, we understand that filling out a grant application is a lot of work. And so come and sit with us and let's talk through it and help you feel comfortable and confident walking into that application. On that note, tonight at 6:30, we have another workshop, and it's the application workshop. And our teammate, Lisa Marie Evans, who helped us build the entire application on Submittable, which is where you will fill out your application. She's going to walk you through the entire application and help you put pencil to paper. So by the time you leave that workshop, you will have some concepts written down and can hopefully walk into that application feeling a little more prepared. Okay. With all that said, if you scroll to the very bottom of the medium.art/CXF, at the very bottom, there's a bunch of frequently asked questions. Take some time, click around here, see what you can learn. And I've pulled out a few that we see most commonly. And one of them is, if I received an award last year, am I eligible to apply this year? A CXF award? Yes, you are, as long as you're applying for a different subfund. So for example, if you received the Producers Award last year, you aren't eligible to apply for Producers this year, but you could apply to any of the others, Mixtape, Spectra, anything else. Can I apply for more than one Creative Exchange Fund? No. Lead artists should select the fund most closely aligned with the discipline and scope of their proposed project. However, lead artists may participate in additional Creative Exchange Fund projects for which they're not listed as the lead artist. And to be clear, the lead artist is basically the name on your application. So some of you have heard us use this example before, but if you are applying to the Medium Artist Residency program and you get it, congratulations. And your friend applied to the Mixtape Music Series and you happen to be their drummer, that is okay. As long as whoever applied for the mixtape has a different name, a different lead artist on the application. You just cannot have your name as the lead artist on more than one. Ask us questions about that if you have any. Let's see. When will the applicants be notified? All applicants will be notified in early September of 2023. If awarded, can I change my assigned work period? And I know Thalia will want to jump on this and probably unpack it a little bit more because she is the queen of space and calendaring here at the Medium. Any requests for changes will not be considered. So please, when you're selecting what dates that you're available to do your residency, please check with your heart, your family, and your calendars before you click those so that we can plug you into the date that feels the best for you. We've put in here that there are over 700 days of overlapping projects and programs, and shifting your work period poses a significant challenge that would affect other CXF recipients. In the instance of the Artist in Residency program, if you needed to shift to a different time frame, we would then have to go to another resident and ask them to switch with you. And that puts all of us in a really hard position. So please be mindful of the dates that you select. Do I have to be a resident of the state of Arkansas to apply? Yes, for this particular fund, you do. For the platform and the Medium Artist and Residencies, you must be a resident of Arkansas. All the others sort of vary, so you'll need to look into each fund depending on which fund you're interested in. Can I use additional spaces within the Medium that are not designated to my fund? Unfortunately, no. So as an artist in residence, you will receive a classroom and that is it. If you need or desire other spaces, you'll need to coordinate with Thalia and John and Cynthia and figure out basically a way to rent that. And we'll work really closely with you if that is something you really desire and make sure that that's accessible for you and makes sense for all of us. But as it stands, you only get your classroom. Anything beyond that, you're going to need to work closely with us. And then I've already went over this one, but can the lead artist participate in other CXF projects? Yes, lead artists may be members of other CXF projects for which they are not listed as the lead artist. Okay, all of this information lives on our website, themedium.art. I know Thalia's blowing up the chat, so please look at the chat. She's dropping links in there. All of this language has changed now. It says click here, but now it says watch the recorded session. So if you want to go back and learn more about any of these other opportunities, start here, look at the recorded sessions, and then it will also be available now on the website to book a one-on-one session. So the slide as of today is now outdated, but if you go to the website, that information is on there and you can book a one-on-one or look at these recorded sessions and look at this timeline. And this is also where you can register for tonight's application workshop. Now you have all this information. If you're ready to apply, there are apply now buttons sprinkled all over the website, but particularly right here on the medium.art/CXF, there's an apply now button. Jump right in. I would encourage you to do a one-on-one session before you do that. And if you need to come see the physical space, if you want to see what the studios look like before you apply, let us know. We are here. We're happy to let you in. We're happy to give you a quick little tour so you can see what you're walking into. Another tidbit of advice I want to throw out is all of the applications are on a third-party program platform called Submittable. This is sort of a standard grant application platform. You're welcome to write all of your information, fill out your grant application within Submittable, but please know that sometimes technology does not work in our favor, especially as artists, because this is not our jam. I would encourage you to write all of your beautiful language in a Google Doc or a Word doc or on paper before you write it all in Submittable, because there's a slim chance you might lose your words. So write those words somewhere else and then go in and drop it into Submittable. Last but not least, and then we're going to open up the floor for questions. If you have not already, please go to cashcreate.org/directory and create a free artist profile for yourself. We have a growing database of all Northwest Arkansas and regional artists and arts organizations. It's hard for me to illustrate, but we get asked a lot if we know someone that knows how to do fill in the blank. It's hard for us to keep a running tally of all of the incredible diverse artists in Northwest Arkansas. So we've created the directory on the Cash website for you to put your information, and we send people here. Go look on the directory first to see who you can find. So create your free profile, friends. Get on there. Throw a beautiful image of yourself or your artwork on there and write a quick description of who you are, what you do, and include a couple of links. And this is a really valuable resource. It also helps, when people are Googling your name or they're Googling mural artist in Northwest Arkansas, if that happens to be you, you will pop up higher on the SEO with having your information here. So go and do that, please, today. It'll help you sort of prime the pump for your writing fingers. And that is it. That's all that I have. So I just threw out a whole lot of information, and I'm going to hand the floor over to Thalia. If you still haven't asked your question and as we continue to talk, it's not too late. Throw your questions in there or email us at cxf@cashcreate.org, or our Instagram is @themedium_art. That would be myself or Cynthia that will be answering your questions there if you're more comfortable asking over there. So Thalia, I'm going to hand it over to you to take it away.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. We got lots of questions, and it looks like we have about 13 minutes left on this scheduled meeting, but I want to hold space for everybody that does have questions, because we have a lot of people interested in this fund, and this one has changed a little bit since last year. So if you need to hop off at noon or now, absolutely do that. All of these questions are being recorded. and will be on the website probably by tomorrow. And like Amber said, you can message us on Instagram or send us an email if we don't touch on your question. Let's start real quick with what's new this year. And Amber mentioned both of these things. So we have the visual art night. Those are actually one-night events that are already on our production calendar. So you will be given those dates well in advance if you are awarded. These are nights in which the Medium Artists in Residence and the Spectra recipients will be able to host exhibitions, maybe an open studio, a workshop, an artist talk, whatever. So there'll be a lot of different things going on at the same time, and we'll do our best to kind of put those in a stacked run of shows so things aren't overlapping. We'll have refreshments. It'll be really, really fun. And like Amber said, there will be a lot of intersection between all of those artists and the traffic that they attract. So that's a very, very good thing. The other thing that's new this year to the Medium Artist Residencies is a minimum number of hours that you need to commit to be in the studio. The problem that we're trying to solve with this minimum number of hours is we want these funds and this space to go to somebody who needs space. If you already have a good thing going at another studio, please leave this open to someone who doesn't have that, who doesn't have a dedicated workspace. This fund does not just want to give you money and you don't come here and do anything. That's not what this fund wants to do. This fund is very space specific. We want you to use your studio alongside us, or maybe when we're not even here. As Amber said, you'll have a key agreement. You'll have 24/7 access to your studio. But we want you to work at the Medium. Let's see. Also new this year is that you will have a private studio. It will just be you in the studio. Last year we had 2 artists per studio. So each quarter there were 4 artists in residence. This year we're going to try each artist having their own studio space, and we're going to see how that works. So you're going to have a big area to work in. Let's talk a little bit about risk taking, because that comes up a lot. Amber, if you could pull up that screen, that's a big phrase and a big receptacle that essentially means we want you to take chances. We want you to experiment. We want you to test and try. That is the spirit of this space and our mission. We do that here. We're approached about programs and events all the time. And our response is, well, we've never done that. Let's try. Let's see how it goes. So that's what essentially what risk taking means. And it's an important component of your application. So if you have any specific questions about risk taking and how to illustrate that within your proposal, I super encourage you to sign up for a one-on-one with one of us so we can kind of walk all around and in and out of that with you. I got a question about using an alternate space from the studio during the residency. I would imagine, some of you may want to use the main gallery. That space actually will not be available to you during your residency, as the Spectra recipients will be all up in the main gallery during your residency. You will have access, John, please pop on here if I'm saying this wrong, because again, this is new to us, y'all. You will have access to the main gallery extension on the visual art night, and those modular or mobile walls that Amber mentioned. Wish we had a picture of those, but please feel free to stop by and see them anytime. Several artists have used those such that they've created their work, and then they put it up on these mobile walls, and those can be moved into different areas of the building. So specifically for the visual art night, those may be able to be moved out into the foyer, and maybe attract people into your studio or just showcase your work in a more open area. Or they may be able to be moved into the main gallery extension, which is that little bump out on the screen that says main gallery extension. Did I hit that right, John? Is that basically correct? Thanks. Marketing. How will we let people know about you and the cool things that you do and this rad visual art night that we're going to host? It's going to be all over the Medium's Instagram. We're going to talk about it a lot. It's going to be on the Cash Instagram. It's going to be in the Medium and Cash's newsletter. We are super proud of you and the work that you do, and we want to share it. We want to spread the gospel about you. So that will be how we contribute to marketing. But we want you to do the same. Please share about the visual art night and your residency and what you're doing in here day in and day out. Share about that on your social channels and tag us. And Amber and or Cynthia, they operate our Instagram. They're going to grab that and they're going to, what do you do with that? You put it on your story. You put it on a reel. I am the oldest person that works here, y'all, if you can believe it. I learn all of this stuff from my kids. So they're going to do those cool things that happen on social media. And Amber and Cynthia, if you want to save me from myself and get in here and talk about marketing, please unmute yourself. Another thing that we've said 2 or 3 times, but that is really, really important, is that this fund is very narrow in its eligibility. It will only apply to people who have a mailing address within Benton and or Washington County. I think that this is the tightest eligibility of the funds. And that is just like full circle back to the top of this Q&A, where I said that this fund wants to provide space to those who need space. And so to do that, you're going to need to work here. So really living outside of those 2 counties we thought would be difficult for somebody to commute back and forth. So you have to have an address. You have to live either in Benton County or Washington County. Does anybody else have any questions? Team Medium, did I miss anything? Ooh, let's talk about timing real quick. I know Amber was like, oh my gosh, where is my date slide? On your application, there will be 3 date ranges, and they're going to have radio buttons. So hear me, it's a select all that apply type issue. If you could be a resident here at the Medium on all of those quarters, if you have that capacity, if you have that ability, please click all 3 of those. Okay. The more options that you give John and I to calendar, the easier our job is. It's a little bit easier with this fund because there's only 2 of you per quarter, but add that to all of the other CXF events that are going on at the same time as your residency. And then on top of that, sprinkle some external events. And by external events, we mean not creative exchange fund associated. So our calendar is like, it's like simmering all the time. It's like this little fire that John and I get into every single day. And we have to like weave everything together. So what that means is please select all of the quarters that you think you would be able to be an artist in residence at the Medium. Will you be able to change that if you are awarded? No, you will not. Remember all of those events that I was talking about? It's like a house of cards. If you pull one out, the whole thing is going to collapse. So think hard about that, but give us as much availability as you are able to. Yes, you can sell your work. Please make as much money as you can. Sell your work. We don't have a point of sale, so you would have to research, implement, and operate that yourself. But yes, sell your work and keep 100% of that profit. We don't want any of it. We want you to make money. That's a great question. I think I've got us all the way to 11:59, and I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds just to see if anybody else wants to talk.
I was going to jump in and just add 2 things. Yeah, we don't have a point of sale for managing art sales, but we've seen a lot of people just use, the simplest way is Venmo, QR codes, things like that to help thank people. So that's definitely an option. And just to add on to the timing thing too, I will throw, and cash, obviously. But just to add on to the timing thing too, aside from making our jobs easier, in terms of like by selecting as many options and being as flexible as possible, it also allows this extra layer of like when we are picking who is going to be in this quarter for the Spectra series and the other artists in residence, it kind of allows us to curate a little bit of like what that visual art night looks like. So we're able to pair, maybe mediums that you don't typically see together in a single setting. So I just wanted to throw that out as well. And with that, I'll give it back to Amber.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Thalia. Thank you all. It's 12:01. We want to honor your time. If you still have questions, let me get back to this last slide here for you. Please email us. We check this every day and we're responding to you. We appreciate you all taking the time to be here and learning about this. Find us on Instagram, email us, and please sign up for the application workshop that's this evening and a one-on-one session. The deeper you get into your application, please reach out to us. We're here for you and we want to see you bring your project to life. So thank you again. We're proud of you all. Please stay in touch.